in a small sunlit house at the end of a quiet road. There once lived an old couple, Mario and Lena. Their home was a haven of joy, always echoing with the laughter of their two boys, Tomas and Paulo. The air was filled with the delightful scent of home-cooked meals and the warm comfort of a close-knit family. It was a perfect picture of happiness. As the years rolled by, their elder son, Tomas, grew from a playful boy into a man. The day came when he packed his bags, ready to chase his own dreams. He left home and, not long after, he got married. Mario and Lena were proud, of course, but a quiet sadness settled in their hearts. Their first child, the tiny baby they once held in trembling hands, had started a new life far from them. The weekly calls became monthly, then yearly, and then they just stopped. The line went silent. Their younger son, Paulo, had once made them a heartfelt promise. "I will never leave you both," he'd said, his young eyes full of sincerity. "I'll stay right here and take care of you." Those words became a soothing balm for the couple, a comfort they held on to tightly. But time, with its relentless march, changes everything. Paulo grew older, his world expanded, and he found new dreams to follow. Eventually, he too packed his bags and left the nest. His promise, once a solid anchor, faded like dust swept away by the wind. Just like his brother, his calls became infrequent, his visits non-existent. He stopped calling, stopped visiting, stopped remembering. The house, once a vibrant symphony of children's laughter and playful footsteps, fell into a deep, unnerving silence. The walls that had absorbed so much joy now seemed to hold only echoes of the past. The emptiness was a heavy presence. To fill this void, Mario and Lena made a decision. They decided to adopt two animals. They brought home a fluffy white cat they named Snow, and a cheerful, energetic brown dog they named Buddy. From the very moment these two furry companions crossed the threshold, the house came alive again. It was as if someone had turned the lights back on. Snow, with her elegant grace, would curl up on Lena's lap as she sat reading in her favorite armchair, her soft purr a gentle, rhythmic comfort. Buddy, with his boundless energy and loyalty, followed Mario everywhere he went, his tail wagging like a constant, happy heartbeat. These pets offered a love that was pure and unconditional. They never judged, never made excuses, never forgot it. They were a constant, warm presence in the quiet house. For Mario and Lena, Snow and Buddy became their reason to smile a little more, to find joy in the tiny, everyday moment. They were their inspiration to live a little longer, to cherish each day, while their own sons forgot birthdays, anniversaries, and Christmases. While the sound of their parents' voices became a distant memory, the cat and the dog were always there. They were warm, they were loyal, they were family. They filled the spaces left by absent children, not with words, but with unwavering affection. But time, as we know, is a thief that comes for everyone. One quiet morning, Lena passed away peacefully in her sleep. Mario, heartbroken, held her hand until the doctors arrived. He sat by the phone, waiting. He waited for his sons to call, to show up, to share in his grief. But they never did. Not a single visit, not a single flower, not even a simple message of condolence. The silence from his children was more deafening than his own sorrow. Grief weighed on Mario's heart like a mountain, but in his darkest moments, he was not alone. Snow would curl up beside him, a soft, warm comfort against his side. Buddy would rest his head on Mario's feet, his gentle presence a silent promise that he was still loved. They were his anchors in a storm of sorrow. A week after Lena's funeral, with a heavy but resolute heart, Mario called his lawyer. "I want to change my will," he said, his voice firm and clear. "All my assets, everything I own. I want it to go to Snow and Buddy. They stood by us when our own children didn't. They were the ones who were." There, a few years later, Mario passed away, joining Lena in whatever peace comes next. The news of his passing spread quickly, and this time the sons came rushing back. They arrived at the old house, their faces filled not with grief for the father they had lost, but with a greedy expectation for the inheritance they believed was theirs. But when the lawyer sat them down and opened the will, their jaws dropped. The words read aloud in the quiet room were a shock. Everything the sunlit house, the savings accumulated over a lifetime, the land, all the valuables had been left to a cat and a dog. The will meticulously outlined a plan, with caretakers assigned to ensure Snow and Buddy lived out their days in comfort and happiness. The sons protested, they yelled, they made demands. They couldn't believe it. But the will was legal, it was final, and it was unbreakable. The inheritance they had taken for granted, the wealth they had come to claim, was gone. It belonged to the two creatures who had asked for nothing but love and had given it back tenfold. In the aftermath, Snow slept peacefully in her soft bed, unbothered by the human drama. Buddy wagged his tail at the caretakers, as if greeting old friends. The two animals, who had given the lonely couple unconditional love until their final days, were the ones who inherited the life the sons had so carelessly abandoned. And in that small, quiet house at the end of the road, love remained. It wasn't a love bound by blood or by obligation. It was a love built on loyalty, a loyalty that never faded, a love that was truly unconditional. Thanks for watching.